Assalamualaikum to my panel, Encik Arizam dan Encik Ali. And my name is Muhammad Danish bin Anwar. My metric card number is B071710904. My supervisor is Encik Muhammad Aris Fadila bin Zainuddin. So today I would like to present about my final year project. So the title is Effect of Franchise Size to the Mechanical and Physical Properties of Natural Fiber Reinforced Composite using DOE approach. So we go to the next slide. So the second slide is content that I will present about the introduction, literature review, methodology, and the result and recommendation. So the first slide is introduction. So the first point is composite material represent material composed of two or more components. These two components exhibit considerably different physical. And the second one is high strength of composite material is their key benefit because composite material have a high strength. And then the third one is the reinforcement is tougher, stronger, and stiffer than the matrix. Composite material achieve the majority of their beneficial properties through a strong bond between a strong rigid reinforcement using fiber reinforcement. Okay. The new composite material also exhibit many beneficial characteristics. In many cases, composites are strong, of lower density, or less expensive compared to existing material. Composite typically consists of two or more different components forming region wide enough to be considered continuous. At the interface, the basic components are generally strongly fused. Okay, we go to the next slide is problem statement. Okay, for the problem statement, the first one is waste product. The resource is one of the waste fiber due to the number of production. In Malaysia, is a nation with a huge production of agriculture plantation such as rasas, coconut fiber, and oil palm. According to the global production of agriculture, waste amounts to 998 million tons per year. Okay, the waste product. However, the waste disposed of this organic fiber in Malaysia, in particular, is 1.2 million tons. As indicated by the study carried out by the Ministry of Agriculture of Malaysia, rice husk is one of the waste fiber due to the number of production. Okay, then we go to the second one is environment. The negative impact of an incident and emergency situation result from the leakage of liquid into the soil and water and the leakage of flue gases and combustion products of composite material into the air during fire, the waste disposal. Okay, this one we calling the air pollution. And then we go to the high cost. Nowadays, manufacturing in Malaysia use a lot of expensive composite. Like we know that aviation always use the carbon fiberglass for their weight. So that is too much expensive for the composite. And then we go to the next slide is objective. So the first one is to investigate the effect of matrix and strength the mechanical and physical properties of natural biocomposite fiber. Then we go to the next point is to investigate the factor that affecting the mechanical and physical properties of biocomposite in different composition of material substance. Then we go to the scope. For the scope, the first one is using full factorial approach to find the optimum matrix weight and reinforcement. Okay. The second point is to test the mechanical properties used in STM B071710904. This one is for the tensile test. And then we go to the third point is to determine the amount of water absorbed under specific condition. Okay. Then we go to the number 4 is to test the physical properties used in STM B570. This one is for the water adsorption test. Then we go to the next slide is literature review. And for the left side is matrix types. And then the The right side is reinforcement types. Okay, this one is the chart for the composite material. And then we go to the first point is when combined it may change the characteristic of substance other than before it is combined. This one is from the article. And then the second one is the aircraft lighter will ensure that fuel consumption decreases and performs its efficiency. And then matrix and reinforcement are two main categories of combination. This one I take from the research from Kuwang and Patrachayapuk and Trada from that. And then we go to the properties of biocomposite. The advantages of composite forming material can lead to improved properties such as strength, rigidity, corrosion, and resistance, and fatigue life. Then we go to the second point is biocomposite properties typically depends on matrix and material fiber. Okay. Then we go to the properties of risers. For the risers is a large-scale agriculture waste. It is a significant byproduct of risers, milling, and agrobiomass industry. Risers is a cellulose-based fiber containing approximately 20% amorphous silica. And then for the next certificate that I get is this also contains 60 to 65% volatile metal and 10 to 15% is fixed fuel and 17 to 23% is ash. Okay, this is all I get from the articles. And then we go to the flowchart. This research has created by a number of procedures to ensure that the work was carried out easily and clearly without a different procedure. This investigation will take about 2 semesters to complete. Then the flowchart of the 2 semesters needed to be included. This flowchart is used as a procedure to analyze the result from the start to the end of the process. Okay, this one is the flowchart. And then we go to the next slide is sample preparation. So for the tensile, the length use 140 mm and the width is 15 mm and then the thickness is 3.0 mm. That I use from the ASTM. I follow the ASTM. And then water absorption also, I follow the ASTM. The length is 10, the width is 10, the thickness is 3.0. Okay. And then we go to the condition of sample. Measurement of the sample is necessary in order to have a precise composition of the material to be filled inside the mold. The raw material are prepared to be filled with approximate mold size. Okay, the first one is rice fiber. I use the rice fiber, and then cassava starch and polyvinyl alcohol. It's like PVA. Okay, and then we go to the next slide is tensile test. This method is used to evaluate the specimen strength. The common idea of the tensile test is to place a sample of a material called groups that clamps the material in between two features. Then start adding weight at one end to the grip stuff while fixing the other. This one is for the strength of the fiber. Then we go to the next is this one. I use a water absorption. This is the amount of water absorbed under a specified condition. Factor affecting water absorption include type of plastic additives used, temperature, and length of exposure. The data shed light on the performance of the material in water humid environment. This one I follow the ASTM D570 for water absorption test. Okay. Then this is a design of experiment. Design of experiment. Types of sample, we have the fiber, we have the cassava starch, we have the glycerol, we have the PVA glue, we have the tensile strength, water absorption. This one is the design of experiment. And then we go to the next slide is Pareto chart. Okay, Pareto chart. Pareto chart is the Pareto chart diagram shows the absolute value of the standardized effect from the largest to the smallest. This standardized effect are the statistic which check the null hypothesis. Okay, this one my experiment that based on the Pareto chart for tensile strength, look from the chart, the highest bar is TPS. TPS is thermoplastic. And then the excessive use of TPS, the highest is TPS, thermoplastic. Okay, excessive use of thermoplastic can strengthen and bind between fiber and PVA to become a stronger and more durable. Okay, the least mixture is the mixture between fiber and TPS. Okay, from the diagram we can conclude when we make a mixture of fiber that is too much combination between TPS and PVA is only a little, the material will be easily brittle and not hard enough to conduct the tensile experiment. Okay, this one I got from my test experiment. Then we go to the next slide is half normal plot. Okay, half normal plot is a factorial experiment that is designed for two-level factorial experiment but can be used for other level experiment. The analysis of the effect calculate the equivalent half of the standard score under which the graphic show measure the relative intensity of the particular effect. The half normal frequency plot display the absolute value of the uniform effect from the largest effect to the smallest effect. Based on the half normal plot of the tensile, thermoplastic is more significant in effect of full factorial for tensile strength. It can be concluded that the thermoplastic are formed to protect the stiffness of the composite from the environment. And then we go to the next slide. Next slide is the Pareto chart for the water absorption. From the Pareto chart of water absorption, it can be concluded thermoplastic combination from cassava starch and glycerol cannot protect the fiber from being absorbed the water because the cohesion of the matrix and reinforcement can be damaged even in a bulk by moisture or chemical surface attack. The fluid can be propagated to some depth by absorption and wicking. Consequently, it is important that a skin protect the reinforcement from direct contact with the internal environment. And then we go to the next slide. The next slide is half normal plot of water absorption. Based on the half normal plot of water absorption, they have two significant found in the graph between the fiber mesh and PVA. This is because the fiber mesh and PVA can absorb too much water. The thermoplastic are used to protect the composite from environment and to maintain the composite stiffness. This one I got from my experiment that I do and follow the procedure. And then we go to the conclusion and the recommendation. Basically, this study focused on the analysis to find the significant parameter which affect the natural composite process. The mechanical and physical properties in terms of tensile strength and water absorption have been studied and discussed in the result and discussion section. Two levels of full factorial for design of experiment was conducted to run the experiment. Okay, for your information, my experiment that I use two level and three factor. Two level is mean the size of the fiber, 30 mesh and 30 mesh, and then The three factor is fiber, glycerol plus starch, this means like thermoplastic, and then we have PVA glue to combine together. And then we continue to the conclusion. There are 8 number of experiments that has to run, and there are 3 factors being conducted and calculated by using design method. All the result has been recorded and the graph has been generated for the parameter that was carried out by using limited software. Based on the sample testing of tensile properties, the result has been analyzed and record regarding the number of experiments run and the parameter. It can be observed the rise size is the important factor that affect the tensile strength. Other than that, thermoplastic starch and PVA also considered to be contribute to the response variable. Based on the analysis conducted, it can be proved that the highest tensile has been obtained at high level in rice as thermoplastic starch and PVA. And then we go to the next slide is recommendation. However, there is some recommendation that can be implemented in the further study. It considered for obtaining a better result in experimental achieve. The first one is conduct and diversity experimental tests such as tensile and water exhaustion to gain more information about the mechanical and physical properties of rice husk. Okay. And then number two is keep the specimen of the material in the place that not exposed to the environment. Considering selecting full factorial design on more factor which can be contribute more significant effect for the experiment. Thank you. That's all from me. And that's it. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.